Morning, Blue Jays fans, and welcome to another edition of Jay's Latest. I'm your host, Craig Borden, and we're going to talk all things Toronto Blue Jays baseball and hope to have as much fun as humanly possible. So, as we step up to the plate today, we're going to talk really quickly about we finally got our booth back. Our favorite guys in Blue Jays baseball, Dan Schulman and Buck Martinez, back in the booth today last night after a long hiatus. Many are well aware that Buck is obviously fighting cancer, and thankfully he's doing much better and back in the booth with Dan because that apparently is his favorite place on the planet. So that is exactly his wording. I'm not making that up. So. And not to mention, how could he not come back for a game last night? That is epic Hall of Fame worthy of stuff. We're going to get to that in a minute. But us Blue Jays fans are really, really spoiled having Dan and Buck in this, broadcast booth nightly. And we got to love every stinking minute of it because who knows how much longer he's going to be able to do it or want to be able to do it. So, perfect pairing. It's been that way for a very long time in Blue Jays baseball. Cannot say enough good things. Love every minute of it. And it was so good to see Dan and Buck back for an epic showdown last night. So let's talk about that. So Clayton Kershaw versus Max Scherzer. Who would have thought that was going to be an evening we were all going to get to enjoy this Major League Baseball season? It's wild. And two future Cy Young Award winners, monster Ks. Both of them have 3,000 strikeouts these days, and it was so much fun to watch two of them go head to head last night. And it was a showdown for many innings. The Blue Jays jumped out to a one-run lead early in this game with an Addison Barger single that drove in Bo Bichette, but that lead maintained for a very long time until you finally get to the fifth inning where Max Scherzer allowed a runner on those two runs on literally two bad pitches again. That seems to be the Achilles heel for Max Scherzer. There seems like there's always a couple of bad pitches in a row, and one of those bad pitches turned into a two-run home run for Mookie Betts, and it was right after Shohei Ohtani doubled, so it was two bad pitches pretty much right in a row, or at least two big ones to two hitters that take full advantage of that kind of a thing. But those are the two runs, so both of them pitching 6 innings, Kershaw and Scherzer, that is. Kershaw going 7 hits, 1 earned run, 4 strikeouts, and a walk in those 6 innings. Continues his season ERA to 3.14. Just insane stuff at the career that they've had. On the flip side, Max Scherzer unjustly gets put with loss in this one. 6 innings of hard work, 6 hits, 2 earned runs. 3 walks was the big ding to outside of that, and 5 strikeouts. But either way, a really good outing from Mad Max, and looked great doing it. Drops his ERA down to 4.21. After that, one of the gentlemen that comes out of our bullpen that's been on fire, but clearly had a rough night in Chavez Ravine last night. Brandon Little had a really rough outing last night. No outs recorded while giving up 3 earned runs, 2 walks, and a hit. So he continued to just kind of walk the guys around the pillows a little bit. Then got saddled with the 3 earned runs, as I mentioned. Varland ends up coming in and getting him out of that inning, but not unscathed. So in the midst of that, Brandon Little did not have it last night and just could not get the ball across the plate, really was his downfall. Unfortunately, that was just enough damage for the Dodgers to run away with this game, and the pitching showdown in that matter just kind of, fell into Clayton Kershaw getting a W. So, it is what it is. But on the flip side, the Blue Jays offense went silent. It just seemed, even though they were able to get 10 hits yesterday, they would not find that big hit, only going 2 for 8 with runners in scoring position. They couldn't find that one to just get it going. There was a point where Kershaw wiggled out of it, bases loaded jam in this game, and that's just the epic nature that is somebody like Clayton Kershaw. It was nice to see Joey Loperfido get back in, even in a pinch hit yesterday, so that means that he's doing okay. He'll probably get a start today against the righty. Actually, I take that back. Blake Snell's pitching. But anyway, The bottom of the order was the big part to this game yesterday. Again, setting the table very well. Barger, Ty France with 2 hits, Dalton Varsho with 3 for 4 performance, and it just, like I said, it was all concentrated in those 3 batters. Though the majority of our hits, those 3 batters coming up with 7 of our actual 10 hits. That'll do it. So, unfortunate reality was there's not enough offense outside of those 3 to be able to drive in some runs and continue the Blue Jays, ridiculous run tirade that they were on after Colorado. On that note, the Blue Jays are going to still be in Chavez Ravine this weekend playing the Dodgers. We are going to see another epic performance here in pitching, along with Chris Bassett and Blake Snell. Blake Snell, the lefty, has been doing amazing again for this year. Last few outings, though, he's been getting touched up a little bit. Tampa Bay Rays got him for 3 in his last outing. He did really good in 4 innings against Atlanta. And Detroit, he got touched up for 2 runs too. So he's still really getting into this season. Only 14 innings. He hasn't, been hurt. So maybe there's some taking advantage of that a little bit for the Blue Jays to be able to see if they can touch up the 32-year-old lefty. Meanwhile, Chris Bassett is looking to bounce back and continue to bounce back from a bad outing in Baltimore. He had a great one against the Kansas City Royals in his last outing. 6 innings and 1 earned run, 5 strikeouts and 3 walks. So Bassett will be looking to capitalize on that. Blue Jays have not faced Blake Snell. There is nobody in this lineup that has more than 3 at-bats except for Dalton Varsho, the only exception, who was batting .286 and 7 at-bats. So, whoop-de-doo, not a big enough sample size. On the other side of the mound, Ohtani has gotten 2 home runs off of Chris Bassett, but he has only been .231 and 26 at-bats. So, same kind of thing going on there. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one to see how the Blue Jays continue to play against these Dodgers. They need to at least win a game in this series to keep pace with everybody. But to that point, we might be getting some reinforcements back. Apparently, they reevaluated George Springer. He might be starting his rehab soon. Andres Jimenez is not far behind. Jimmy Garcia is apparently going to start his too. So some other pieces to this puzzle might be coming back for the Blue Jays in the near future. So make sure you hit those like, share, subscribe buttons and join us back here. We won't have an epic Cy Young matchup for you tomorrow to talk out, but it will be fun to talk out this matchup between Chris Bassett and Blake Snell tomorrow. So make sure you tune in and we'll talk to you soon. Cheers. Let's go Blue Jays.